So we're going to get a little technical on this video, but I think it's worth it, so bear with me. Handling objections is a critical part to the sales process, and I would argue very few sales in real estate happen without some sort of objection at some point, or multiple objections at some point in the process. In my opinion, there's a right and wrong way to handle it. If you do it the right way, not only will it skyrocket your business, it will also provide better service to your clients. So before I jump in, if this video is helpful, click subscribe. That's how I know if the content I'm sharing is actually helpful or not. And if you have any questions, don't be shy. Shoot me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call. I'm always happy to talk and help if I can. So let's get right into it. Objections. If a prospect, a client, is giving you an objection to any part of the process, it's a sign they are at least considering your service, right? If they didn't want to engage with you at any level, you wouldn't even be talking, right? They would have already moved on. They would have hung up, they would have shut the door, they would have walked away. The fact that they're talking and engaged means they are considering it at some level. Now, a very important piece to that, there are some life situations that are not objections, they are just considerations. They are life, and that's not something you can help a prospect through. For example, if somebody does not qualify to buy a $500,000 house and they want to buy one, they want to buy a house that costs $500,000, you cannot help them through that process. That's not an objection. An objection means there is a solvable solution to the problem. And it's our job as salespeople to provide them value. So objections are, we want to think about it. Objections are, your commission's too high. We have a friend in the business. These are all objections, right? Now, in the beginning of my career, my heart would start pounding. I would get frustrated when someone gave me an objection, until I realized it was simply the part of the process. So I could either learn how to handle it correctly, or essentially I could stop engaging in business because it was just going to keep coming up time and time again. So the first thing to remember, provide a solution with questions, not telling. Questions are the key. The better questions we ask to help them, the client prospect, realize the solution, the better off they're going to be, and we're going to help them come down the process. So I always like to keep in mind question, question, close. Question, question, close. You ask two good questions to help frame a solution or educate, then you offer a close to move them through the process. If they give another objection, you simply repeat the process. Question, question, close. So we want to think about it. Fair enough, this is a big decision. What specifically do you want to think about? What's holding you up at this point in time, right? This will draw out exactly what the concern is. Then you can ask another question to try to get them past whatever came up, and then you could offer an opportunity to move forward with the sales process, right? Your commission's too high, right? You want to ask a couple questions. What's more important? What commission you pay or what you're netting on the sale, right? Do you think all agents do things the same way? Or do you think the difference in agent you choose could be worth a couple percentage points here or there? Would you be open to sitting down and learning more about a different sales process to get another opinion before you just go with the cheapest price, right? And then, great. I have a 1 o'clock tomorrow or a 2 o'clock on Wednesday. What works better for you, right? So you're asking questions to show value. We all know that all agents don't provide the same service, right? We all know that we want to think about it as a mask. That's really a no, they're hiding something, right? We can go on with each objection that comes up in real estate. But the solution, the way to solve it is the same, and that is good questions. Keep asking good questions and close. Don't be shy here. This is your opportunity to dig in and solve problems. This is your opportunity to show your worth as a real estate agent. Because quite frankly, if we can't help them solve a problem, if we can't have a tough conversation, we can't dive into those tough conversations, why should they hire us? Right? They can go find their own homes on the internet. They can post their home for sale on the internet. If we can't provide them value and show them that from the get-go, then they have no reason to work with us. So spend some time. We spend a lot of time on my team writing down good questions to the most common objections that come up. So when they do come up, we're prepared for them. Not only are we prepared, but we're excited because we know someone's talking and thinking about working with us. Believe me, those objections, although they're scary, they are much better than the prospect that hangs up on you because you don't even have a chance to talk to that person. This is someone who's at least listening. It's your time to shine. This is your game day. This is all the stuff you practice for. This is your moment. So the more prepared you are, the more able you'll be able to execute. Hope this helps.